All right. Hello, everyone. Let us begin the session for today. And well, my current standing in terms of narrative is very simple today. Like it's always simple, actually. I think the first run, the way it's moving right now, the first run should be aiming for those highs. That is what I think right now. And well, and the next attack should be on this, like these two lows, and eventually into this 1 hour gap. That's a 1 hour gap right there, 1h, right? So that's what I'm seeing right now. And let's go into smaller time frames and get a hold of what price is doing. Okay, that's nice. Mm, 5 minute look like it's bullish, at least for the beginning of the 9:30. But but there is a but in between. Whose but it is? Anyway. All right. So yeah, when I'm looking at lower time frames, it looks more than likely to go lower first. That's what I'm seeing right now. I'm going to remove this gap actually. Dump this one and stick with this one right here. Now I'm watching what price wants to do. Like most of the gaps in this price range are, decent big or very small. And I don't like either of that. Like that's not what I prefer. I'm looking for that clean gap. Like this is kind of a clean gap. Like it's very close to what I look for. This is like too huge. I'm not considering it. And yeah, as for ES, we still haven't gotten the target we were looking for. We moved towards it, yeah, but we haven't really gotten it. Like the whole number 69.50, right? So that's what I'm looking at right now. I'll remove that. Also, one thing needs to be remembered today is the Fed interest rate decision. So PM session should be much more interesting is what I believe. But yes, AM session should also provide quick, clean moves in the beginning part of it at least. And I don't want to, at this point, I don't want to enter in a short, even though it looks nice on the lower time frames. It's most likely going to attack what's that level, 26 to 25, 20 to 26, right in that region. So that's what I think should happen right now. But yep, I'm not hell bent on it. I'm just waiting for price to show me what it really wants to do. Now see if it takes that low before the 9:30 open and leaves a sweet gap right there, I think I would take that shot. But only if it does that. Otherwise, nope. Not touching it pre-session until we have absolute clarity. And clearly that clarity has not been provided. Still 25 seconds to go. Let's see. I don't think there is anything that I would want to do right now. I'm waiting. Like the rejection, if it keeps rejecting, then again, it should be moving higher. It could be moving lower. I don't know at this very point. I'm looking for market to show me some clarity as to which direction it intends to move in. I predict what? I predict the higher time frame, you know, levels. But when it comes to intraday, like I just dump that and focus on whatever it may be that price is doing, right? And this week so far has been one of the worst weeks for me in terms of profit. But in terms of the experience, I mean, this has been a very beautiful week. I've deciphered a lot more about myself and how I trade. So yeah, that's a pretty good thing for me. So if you look at it like that, then this has been a very good week overall. So yep, still waiting on the what's the 5 minutes showing right now? Okay. As you can see, the market is a bit volatile now. There's still 5 minutes to this 9:30 open. I'm actually going to mark the closing price for yesterday. That should give us good, decent insight. Not that one. Actually, let's just go to RTH and market. That's a better option even. Oh, nope, not that, bro. Right here. That would be dashed. Yeah, orange is fine. It should just be visible, but not very visible. Okay. Yeah, okay. I want to see where the market opens. That's also is very important data to me. Will it open lower or will it open higher? Still, when I'm just getting more on the one-sided thing, like for myself. Again, I could be wrong right there, right? But yeah, if I'm looking at this market, I would expect it to go lower first. So that is what I'm looking for. But again, I'm not hell bent on it. I'll not be hell bent on it. I'll move as the market moves. That's the whole point here. Hmm. So another 2 minutes. If we look at ES is, well, nothing in particular in ES, honestly. This candle and the next candle would tell if 9:30 would want to go lower or higher, in my opinion. Again, I'm still aiming for what? I'm aiming for the lows. That's what I'm looking at right now. Before 8:30, right there. That's 8:30, right? Right there. So that's 8:30. So before 8:30, where's the low? Right here. not this one now. I want the normal one. That's the low. And before 8:30, the high is right there. So those are the particular two levels I'm looking at. Again, to be clear, what's my narrative right now? I think market would be going lower first and then going eventually higher. And we have important news at 2 p.m. New York time. That would be right here. See, knowledge also comes, well, that is the open. And now see the conundrum here. Look at ES moving lower at 9:30 open. Look at NQ moving higher at 9:30 open. Now, what is my approach here? I am waiting for NQ to show me that it wants to go where? Lower, right? Well, ES is already at the low. This is interesting. There you go. ES has already given what we were expecting, but not NQ. So, well, now we have to be treading more carefully. That high right there was taken out by around one tick, nothing more than that. If you look at the open, that is like what, 157. We opened at 266. So that's like 100 handles in between for NQ. Okay. I know it would want to come lower. It's obvious. At least one go would be there. I'm thinking of a short position right here, but I think I need more clarity on that still. I don't want to push anything unnecessarily. Because why? Why? Like, why can't I push it here and maybe place the stop at this high or maybe that high? Because it's what? It's Fed interest rate decisions, right? We have important news at 2 p.m. New York time. So I want the market to show me that it's very clear with what it wants to do. And so far, I haven't gotten anything from the market saying that it wants to go lower or higher. ES is like, nah, bro, I'm not with NQ on this one today. That's how ES is behaving. This is where it should be. It is intriguing. It was very intriguing yesterday. I mean, I traded the 15-second and 30-second chart, and yeah, I took both stop losses, but it really kicked some nerves. It was like, whoa, that is very nice. The movement was pretty much clean, even though I was offside twice, I know. But yeah, it was a pretty clean movement in the lower time frames. Now, if I look at this, I would say until that low is taken, we should be moving higher. But once that low is taken, I would like to see a gap open. So that's what I'm watching right now. If we can get the approach I'm looking for. See, that low there is taken. Let's see if we really open up a decent gap or something like that. That's no. All right. If I look at ES, ES has a high to be taken. Once that is taken, I think, and if NQ shows me bearishness still. Now, which high am I talking about in ES? Right there. That's the RTH high that has just been taken. And now if the market rejects from there, which it currently is rejecting, that is still not enough. I like what is happening right now. The only issue is yeah, that's exactly what I didn't want to see. The market retracing back into that. So yeah, well. But I still believe right now that the market wants to go lower. I see that inversion gap, and that does hold interest to me. I apologize for my dog in the background. I see that inversion gap right there, and it does interest me. I was pointing this out, but I was on the other screen. No issues with that, right? Mm, as much as I wanted to sell, I was a bit late there. Let's see if it provides another opportunity right there. I was just getting my order ready, but yeah, it was a bit late. Okay. Come on, dude. That right there, and okay. All right, so that there is done. Now let's see if we can actually follow this out clearly. The entries have not been good. When I say not good, I mean I was a bit like the system lagged a bit exactly at the point when I was placing the entry. And so yeah, the entries have not been executed at a very good price, but yeah, it's all right. I think I can, that's okay with me. Okay. What am I looking at? I'm looking at these lows, then eventually that low, but this is the first one. Let's see if we can get it or not. This is where I should place like one contract. Okay. Okay. The market share is pretty volatile, without a doubt. I don't want to see any strong bullish candle in my favor against me, like anything that's completely bullish here. I would not want to see that. And in case such a candle comes, it should be instantly rejected. So that's how I'm watching it right now. I'm also watching ES as it's moving slightly higher, and that should be okay overall. As long as we don't see the same reciprocation in Q. Now this gap should ideally not be broken. Not ideally, actually, this should not be broken. That is where we will have trouble then. They would be going for that high. It's not about right or wrong, it's about profitability. I definitely don't like what ES has done, but when I see that same thing on NQ, I'm like, okay, even though ES did push strongly higher, NQ was able to resist it. So that's how I'm seeing it right now still. I want to see how this candle closes. The next candle should show speed in my favor. That's what I'm looking for. A strongly bearish candle aiming right for that low. Oh, well, I want to see this candle. If it's not a bearish candle, I would not like to see it like this whole complete. That is something I would not like to see it close in. That's not a good sign for me. That right there is not good. Now let's see if it can reject, which is unlikely now. I think it's going right there. But if it rejects, then that would be something interesting. Now, what do the bodies tell me at the moment? That this candle should not be pulling up. If this pulls up, then we have another, like, that's another unfavorable delivery right there. If it moves higher, should be pushing lower now. ES has also shifted structure on the 1 minute chart, but obviously no gap yet. So I'm watching ES also at the in the meantime. And well, I think more or less, if I talk about the targeting of this one, I should be holding the position as long as ES takes the low, like the current low that it has created at 931, 930. In fact, right, it's pretty much the same low. So that is how long I'm looking to hold this. But once that is taken, I would like to liquidate the position. That's how I'm seeing it right now. Let's see what happens actually. I want to see weaker candles, because I know if in this consolidation, if I'm getting more bullish candles than bearish, then that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to move higher and not lower. So I'm not looking for a lot of strong bullish candles. We already had some. I would like to see this candle reject with a decent wicks. That is what I'm looking for. Let's see what the market gives. And no. All right. So we are absolutely entering unfavorable climate. That is where I think I would want to reduce my risks to some extent. There you go. Some of it is reduced. Let's see if we can. Right, you can't see the executions, right? If it's still in my favor, which I doubt now, we should see the next candle rush lower in speed, like breaking away from all this consolidation. That's what I would want to see. Okay. Okay. Right, so that was done. I think that was. Okay, I think that was just a bit off. By just a bit off, I mean I was almost there, understanding the point that we are not going to go lower anymore. And that's why I reduced the risk right there, right? And the next candle rammed up. So that's okay. Like I said, I'm having a troubled week overall, in terms of profit, in terms of accuracy, in terms of traits, but I really am understanding a lot of things about myself, so I'm liking that. So yeah, I would stick with that very thing and not make it a a sad, mm, whatever, like sad something. I'm still watching ES. We've taken the high we were not expecting. Honestly, I was expecting that low. So right, we've taken that high out. Now let's see how the market reacts there. One thing that I struggle in closing the position, actually, when I realized that, I think I should have closing the position right here. Sorry, close the position right here. But got what always makes me struggle in closing positions midway is the fact that if it goes down and I've closed the position, it is going to hurt me, like hurt like anything, right? Obviously, because you were not in that trade. And that is where I'm still struggling with it. Like, very honestly, I'm still struggling with that part because I don't want, because that comes in my way of executing, and that's not something that you'd like, right? In trading, you need to have that freedom to execute with a clear mindset and with no regrets. Your action should be extremely on, like, I will not say instinct per se, but like, yeah, it should be kind of more instinctive because you've already learned what you've learned. So that's why I wanted to close this, but yeah, I struggled with that very thing. See, if had I closed the whole position right there, it's like what? How many contracts? Sorry, how many handles? 276 and 280. That's like a four handle loss. I mean, negligible. Four handle loss on NQ is like around a handle's loss on ES, right? So yeah, that was pretty decent in terms of understanding, but yeah, I failed to execute that. That is something to note. I'm watching if price can reject from here or not. Okay, clearly no. We are in a strongly bullish environment, and ES has given us the target we were looking for, which is right there, 69.50. I'm going to try to stay a little put on the AM session because I'm looking for the PM session to give us better and much clearer moves. If you watch ES right now at this very given point, I would like to just shift and a gap. I'm not selling it. I would be watching NQ to sell. Okay. Still not what you were looking for. If this gap opens up, I am very much interested. Decent. Very good. But what are we still missing? The entry, right? Of course, we have to wait for it to come back. This is where I struggle the most in entries because it shows too much speed, and then I'm like, okay, it's not coming back. And then I go into panic mode, and then I start chasing price. I'm waiting to see if I can get a decent entry. See if any of these lows is taken. Yeah, I think any of these lows are taken, even if I wanted to say that low, but no. If any of these lows are taken, I will not be taking an entry short then. I'll wait. Don't ask me what that is. It's just a fair value gap. Okay. That's a very wide SL, but I can place it on this candle side. That seems much more logical because there's this old high in between as well. I'm not expecting market to rip through it, right? So yeah, that's the stop that I'm looking at right now. This, in my opinion, is the best possible entry. Let's see if we can get this. Excuse me. That right there has made this a bit critical. I'm watching ES if I still hold the interest of selling short or not. Mm, Okay, I think I'll still stay waiting for this very gap. Okay. And that, wow. So right now the order is not taken, well taken right there. Okay. Now what do I want to see? I want to see rejection. I know this low right here is taken and that is a bit of a concern to me, but still I'm watching if the market can push lower from here. Okay. Still the same approach. I'm looking at these lows here. That's my best draw. As for RTH, yeah, exactly. Those lows right there. And eventually the whole RTH gap in between, right? I'm not expecting it to fill it, but I'm expecting it to make it till here somewhere. 26 to 30 round figure. I don't want to see steady climbing up back. That won't be a good sign, definitely. I want to see the market show signs of weakness. I wants to go lower. I know it can tap that gap, but that's highly unlikely in my opinion. It should not do that. But if it does that, then well, it should be in speed and then rejection, quick rejection, right? So that's how I'm looking at it right now. But at this point, I don't expect it to break this high either. Like the candle that we have shorted on, it should stay away from that at this given point in time. See it rip through that gap. Should be able to in this very candle. That's what I'm looking for. Nope. not what the market wants us to give. Again, looking for the same objective, I'm expecting this candle to rip through that gap, that yellow one, and not behave as if that is support, which is currently it is behaving like. But what does that show? I mean, that doesn't invalidate the trade. That shows that the market is not in a rush to get where I think it's going, right? And that's not a good sign either. That weakens the probability of me holding the short. Okay, it came pretty much close to it, but did not really rip it. All right, still watching. Now, the next candle should reject sharply lower if we are still in the game. Like sharply, like covering all that bullish run, like of this very candle, it should cover that whole thing up, most of it in the least. ES is looking weak enough. We should be getting that 69.36 low. That's what I'm drawing upon, and same for NQ, similar lows, right there. See, that is definitely not a good sign. That right there has reduced my conviction tenfolds. Now, when I look at it, I think the next candle is going to be a bullish one. And if that is a bullish one, we would we'll see it running very close to that high and eventually to this gap that I said it most likely should not go into. And clearly, that's a bullish candle right there, as expected. Still sticking on to my narrative. I'm not changing that. I'm still looking for lower prices still on NQ. Just checking if the delivery favors me or not. Again, now this candle should reject lower, right? Not bullish, lower. If ES makes it to the low and NQ stays where it is, then I would have to dissolve the position. And ES right now is much more bullish, actually, not bearish compared to NQ. It's pushing higher. We are into 10, AM silver bullet. That right there was the gap, and we should be getting opposing liquidity here and here. At least that's what my narrative is holding me to right now. I like the rejection, but again, the question is, can this continue? That's the main question. Or will it just be a rejecting candle and then we'll again see a bullish move, which is happening right here, right now. I still think if we are on the right approach, this high should remain untouched. Like it has been taken out by a tick, I know, right? That's taken out by a tick. But overall, this area, like the gap, like price should remain in the lower half of this gap. That's what I'm expecting right now. And again, the question remains: can it keep rejecting lower, or will it start consolidating and eventually move higher? I would not want to see consolidation here, because consolidation right here would be bad, because then we would be going back to the high, and actually, you know what, I have lost my interest. Go ahead and close the positions right there. Okay. Right, so that was a quick call. Doesn't mean I'm wrong or right. It's simply just too much consolidation for this very move I was looking for. So I think we would be seeing another jab at the high, most likely. Now we are in a consolidation, that's why I'm not touching this as a buy. I want to see price move out of that consolidation. My interest is back in NQ for that high, but let's see. First, I'm still waiting for this high to be broken, which I did not want to be broken, right, when I was shorting. So that's the high that will tell me if we are going long or we are just not doing anything. See, the way I see it, it's going higher, definitely. Just waiting for that high to be taken out before yeah, that's done. Now comes the question. Oh, see this candle close. It's okay. If I get a bad entry, that's better, but I should get a clear entry. That's the whole approach. Now this gap is everything to me right now. I'm going to remove this. It doesn't matter to me right now. See if price closes above that gap or not. See the shift, how we were rejecting from the lower half and now we are closing inside the upper half. That right there is I'll go there. Okay. So what am I looking at? I'm looking at that high, but that should not be the TP, of course. That's where no, actually that should be the TP. I don't know how high it can go, but that is what I'm looking at right now. All right. So I like the way it's consolidating in the upper part of the fair value gap, but now I would like to see it move away from it. And as for ES, okay. So ES has pushed a little lower, but I don't think that should be a trouble as long as we are able to reject higher. Still waiting for that high now. That's what my approach is. The consolidation, the not falling down, the taking out of this very small low right there, which I said should not be touched before I take that short entry, right? So all of those things point me that we should be moving higher, and that is what I'm aiming for right now. We should be seeing big candles now. Still watching if it can give us what we are looking for. Should be an easy run on the high. I don't know how far it can go, but definitely it should be an easy run for the high. And that is exactly what I'm waiting for. Will it be able to run the high? ES is also slightly pushing higher. But honestly, ES looks a bit on the weaker side because I've not gotten any strong bullish movement on ES. So yeah, that is one thing, not of a concern, but one thing to be aware of. So ES is looking slightly favorable, and I would like to trail my stop light right here, but not yet. I would just wait for at least ES to break out. If ES breaks out from where from the consolidation zone right here, if it breaks out from it, then I think I would trail my stops. If it doesn't, I'll just wait for NQ to deliver. I definitely don't like what ES is doing. We should be seeing a big candle on this one, preferably bullish. I mean, that's what I'm looking for, like a bigger candle towards the bullish side. I hope, even though when I say that, it mostly is the opposite side, but yeah, I'm looking for it to be a strongly bullish candle. Okay, that failed, neither bullish nor bearish. So the load is now on the next candle, like the one forming right now. Okay. So, well, again, the same thing. It has happened the opposite of what I said. I think I should keep that in mind because more times than not, when I say that, it's mostly the opposite candle. So, yeah, should just keep that in mind. I don't want to see it reject from the top like any kind of VIX. That would be very unfavorable. As for ES, well, ES has taken another low, which is okay, but it has rejected sharply. Let's see if it can maintain that sharpness or not. Not a lot of rejection, which is okay, but this candle should now be again much more bullish. And well, I just noted that, right? When I say that, it's mostly the opposite. So I don't know which direction it will be, but it should be a volatile candle. That's what I'm looking at. I don't want to see a closing outside the gap. If that happens, well, there you go. Everything is moving against the expected delivery. And that's a stop out. Okay. We're coming to the end of the AM session, and of course, clearly, it has not been a very good session for me. And well, let's see. Now, I think the real game would be in the Fed interest rate news. So, that is the next thing I'm looking for in the PM session. Apart from that, I think this is done. I'm not interested in any particular thing right now. Looking at the time, we are already at 10:45. Yeah, I think that would be it for today. Or would it be? Right there. That's interesting. Okay. That's definitely my last trade for the session. That would be 4 trades for today. For not today, for this very session. Let's see if we can get that low and eventually that low. Now, if you look at it, then the original sell trade was a very good idea, but yeah, it's okay. I'm not complaining. Just seeing what I'm seeing and I want to follow that out. And I also realized managing one account at a time is much more easier because I'm showing it here also. So that's like already another account, which is okay. Like this one is much more easy and I don't care about it. So it's like it doesn't matter. But apart from that, managing a single account is much more easier than managing 2 accounts. So yeah, I think I'm going to stick on one account each time to time. Just want to see how this one ends and we'll wait in the live stream for that very thing. If it's too consolidating, then obviously I would let it be. But yeah, again, that's what we are looking for, that low right there and eventually that low. If we get there, I mean, I'm not so sure on that, but this one is that I'm looking for and this one right here. Again, I don't want to see a lot of rejection. I don't want to see bullish candles overall, not in this consolidation at least. And well, that's pretty much it that I want to see. I want to see stronger candles on the bearish side and definitely remain below this gap. This gap is my safe point. Like I'm not expecting prices to move above this gap if we are still bearish. Which we should be. I think we should be running in speed for that low. Like the way 2 minute looks, it should be extremely bearish and quick. But it's not necessary, right? So yeah, just be aware of that. And there's also a disclaimer running. Anyway, if you placed any trades today, you would have left the live stream already. That's funny, but yeah, that's what it is. I think we should be seeing some sort of speed here. So ES has broken that low, and that makes my stop much more shorter now because I don't want to see any rejection coming at this point. I want to see prices continue lower until this low at least. I don't, again, I'm not aiming for that. It should reach for it, but I'm not aiming for it. I'm aiming for this very low here first. Let's see if it can make it till there or not. And that was some speed right there. And that's it. That's okay. Okay, just give me a moment right there. Close, please. Good. That would be 1 contract off. Okay, 2 contracts off. I'm so sorry. Well, that's all right. And that would be it. Okay. That gave me a sense of confidence, honestly. See, that low was just taken by the pip. Not on my other charts, but yeah, it was taken right here. If you see there, see? All right. That ends the session for me, and that would be it for today. For this session, I'm now looking for the PM session. And that would be it. Thank you.